Yo, what's going on, guys? Rufio here. Welcome to another Summers War video. So today we essentially have our World Guild battle that we have going on right now against GodsArmy. As you can see, the match is pretty close. We want to make sure we get wins here. We also want to try to have a little bit of fun. Use some unique comps, maybe some comps you've seen, I'm sure. So let's take a look at some of the matchups and let's get things started. All right, tower number one. So for this particular tower, we already have our team kind of preset here. I'll go through some brief explanations. So for this first tower, we have the Water Spectre Princess, the Fire Bayek, and Tyrannus. You want to just be really safe with this one. Throw out the really strong Dark Homunculus team. Strip, control. Pretty straightforward. We should be able to see that in action again, as long as we strip the Will Runes round one or so. We'll see what happens there. Next, we have a Chandra, Fire Totemist, Shahat team. This essentially is my anti-debuff team that I've been using for quite some time. It works really well. It's a pretty fun team. Some interesting combinations here, so definitely look forward to using this team against this debuff heavy team here. Third round, we have the more Mogwang Savannah team. So for this one, I want to just bring Leo to mitigate Savannah's damage as much as possible. There is the fear of the AoE defense break, so we'll have to be cognizant of that. But we think, from my perspective anyway, that the Angela should be able to sustain us out as we take the members of this team out one by one. So this should be okay, but again, we'll see what happens. Fourth round, we have our Clara, Wind Hacker, Beelzebub defense. So for this one, we're just going to bring in our Camila team. Again, just kind of slowly but surely chuck away at it. Kill the units off one by one. Again, a small margin for error here when it comes to the first turn strip into defense break, and followed by the Beelzebub's S2 possibly. Hopefully he targets the Blau. We'll see what happens. Again, it's kind of the name of the game here. And our last team, this one should be pretty much a free win against the Bay, Nana, and Byungchul. We're going to bring our Velasca, Sonya, Adriana offense into this one. Again, fairly straightforward. Adriana buffs Sonya. We're going to target the Byungchul first. He dies. Velasca is going to get the turn next and then kill the Byungchul a second time. Afterwards, it should be fairly rinse and repeat, and we should be able to win this one out. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started with Tower 1. Looks good. Let's do it. Okay. Wow, she is fast. I did not expect that at all. I am still going to use the absolute zero here for sure. Yeah, we got a violent proc here. We'll go ahead and put 2 rounds. I'll actually try to go for a strip into the defense break just to make him a little bit weaker. And if he tries to do anything, we'll go for the S2 here. Okay, see, there we go. We'll do the cooldown increase, and we'll try to push back. Nice. And essentially here's the rinse and repeat and what makes this team so strong. The turn 1 is definitely the scarier part for sure. But once we're able to get past the turn 1, this team is just so powerful. The CC is ridiculous. The full time, the slows, it's very, very strong. So we'll continue to work on the Tyrannus first as a reviver. Oh, I lied about that. Looks like the Lamella is out of it. And also, we can see that the seal runes on some of these units definitely comes into play as well, preventing the violent procs out of stuns when we're not able to have multiple turns of stuns or freezes on the target. So it definitely helps, in my opinion, to have some sort of seal on at least one or more of these units on the team. We'll try to extend the harmful effects here. All right, we got the Lamella and we got the Fire Bayek. Again, we'll continue to rinse and repeat here. We'll try to extend the freeze. Continue to try to work on the Tyrannus. He should be reset. We'll hit him. All right, perfect. Now we'll work on the Lamella since she has the lowest cool times for when she will, or in terms of debuff times, right? Like she'll come up first. So let's go ahead and take her out Is we'll focus her more so, and we kill them both at the same time. Perfect. Round 2, we see the debuff team. Chandra goes for third skill. All right, Fire Totemist gets a proc here. All right, Shahat with the potential skill 2 on the Veramos. He misses basically everything, so we're good there. So we're actually going to go ahead and try to bomb the Shahat since he is the damage dealer for this team. He resists the S2 actually, which is not good. We're going to go ahead and just continue to focus on him. We'll S1 here. All right, he gets the stun off. All right, Shahat with the violent out of the stun. All right, so they're getting some nice procs here. We strip off those continuous effects. We're going to S2 here. We get 2-man stun. We're going to continue to work on the Shahat here. We get a violent proc. We'll continue to work on the Shahat. We're procking really nice. We're going to S2 again. Oh my goodness, I am cheating. Okay. Yeah, let's make it fair. Let's make it fair now. All right, we get a strip here. All right, Shahat with the violent proc. And as we can see here, the Nyx passive coming into play, preventing multiple debuffs. We're going to try to bomb him a second time. We landed here. And this is another aspect of this combo that I really do like. The fact that we have damage that doesn't, well, bomb damage. And then we're able to put the branding effect on top of that bomb damage and get a bit more effect. So there you see the Shahat tried to violent proc out of that. The bomb damage on top of the branding did 23,000, which was enough to go ahead and take it out. So again, it's pretty much rinse and repeat for this type of team comp. I know we got a lot of procs there. I'll take it for what it is. But yeah, this is essentially rinse and repeat here when it comes to these debuff related comps. Veramos is able to strip the debuffs off. Nyx is able to limit the debuffs to 2, and then Smizer is able to heal us as well as do the damage by placing the bombs. We'll go ahead and put a bomb down on the Chandra here. And we got a couple procs from the Fire Totemist. We cleanse those off with the Vero. Yeah, my Veramos loves to proc, clearly. So we'll go ahead and actually start targeting the Fire Totemist here. Yeah, our Veramos, it was locked in today. All right. Well, S1. Yeah, this is not normal. Just so you guys know, I don't get procs like this all the time. Awesome. And round 2 is wrapped up. Okay, round 3. No will on the Moor or the Savannah. We'll go ahead and hit Savannah. Get a pushback on her. The Mogwai goes for the S2. We'll go ahead and shield up here. All right, so our Shahat takes a turn before the Savannah. We will definitely try to silence her. We get it, which is great. So she is silenced. We will continue to focus on her. She should be dead at this point. We want to go ahead and pop the Morse passive, so we'll go ahead and do that. We're S2s. Mogwai goes, tries to land a dot, but it gets cleansed by our Angela. We get a proc here. The Savannah goes. Our Shahat gets more turns based on the dots. He kills the Savannah really fast. Okay, cool. We get a proc. Continue to work on our Moor here. Or on the Moor. All right, well, S2 with Shahat here. That should be enough to kill him. We'll go ahead and S2. Again, this team is really safe, in my opinion, against the speed-centric comps. We actually want to go ahead and S1 here so he can get a turn and kill himself. We'll go ahead and start mixing the damage up. We'll go for the Mogwai here. We got the heal block, preventing him from healing himself. And again, very rinse and repeat. This team is pretty safe. I'm pretty confident in this team against debuff speed-related teams. But yeah, like I said, I definitely enjoy it. Shahat's really strong, in my opinion, as well. So really cool to see this combination, and maybe if you have these mine, you can give it a try yourself as well. All right, Mogwai goes for the S1, gets killed by the reflect damage. Round 3 is done. All right, here's a more scary team, the Madness Judgment here. I kind of want to go ahead and try to kill the Dark Demon, only because I know his S2 has a pretty long cooldown, so if we can proc his passive, kill something, and then he can come back. I think I kind of want to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and just kill him off, and now I'm going to target the Clara here. Let's see if we can get a freeze on her. All right, we got a freeze. All right, there goes the virus. No defense breaks, nice. We'll go ahead and I'm just gonna S1 here. I'm still trying to be cognizant of the fact that when the Dark Demon revives himself, he's gonna target Belial. He might kill him, honestly. We'll see. Okay, he didn't. Cool. Okay, so for us, we just want to S1 the Belial. I mean the Beelzebub here, and then we'll essentially just focus on the Wind Hacker last. Honestly, I don't really think this defense is good at all. My opponent, this really just wasn't a good defense, in my opinion. But you got to try things to know if they're good or not, right? So it's all good. But did I think it was trash? Nah. And this one should be the free win team. Our final round here, round 5. We'll go ahead and buff with the Adriana. All right, our Sonya gets a turn. We're going to target the Byung-Chul. We get a kill, 61,000 damage. Our Velasca gets a turn. We're going to go ahead and S2. We're going to kill off the Byung-Chul. All right. Get a couple. Whoa. Relax, bro. Relax. We're actually going in and focus him. Wow, he's squishy. I'm going to S1 here. I want to see if I can get a little heals. Can we get a pushback? Okay, we get a proc and a pushback. Another pushback. Awesome. So it's pretty much a done deal. We'll S1 here. S1 with our Sonya. Get the kill. Velasquez S2 is up. And we'll Arsenal Sacrifice. Awesome. Pretty cool. Pretty easy. 5-win game. Alrighty, tower number 2. So we'll take a quick look at some of these defenses. So first up, we have the Carcano Iris Gilame defense. For this one, we're just going to play it safe. Again, run the same Camila Belial comp, rinse and repeat. Fairly straightforward there. But the second team, they have Sierra, Lionel, and I believe this is Julian. Yes, okay. The new splash charts kind of throw me off a little bit, but they do look good. The contours, they did a good job with that. So for this one, we're just going to bring in our Velasquez, Sonya, Adriana comp into this. They should outspeed us with the speed lead and the fact that his base speed is, I think, 113, something along the lines of that. We kind of hope to get a little lucky here that the Lionel accidentally pushes the Sonya so that way we can go ahead and snipe the Sierra off. And then at that point, it should be an easy game. But it should work virtually the same way. Worst case scenario, if Sierra goes and she kills off Adriana, then we should be able to, again, do essentially the same thing. So we'll see. A bit of margin for error, but we'll have a little fun and we'll see what happens here. For our third round, we're against the Manon, Molly, and the Kinky. Sometimes I forget his name. And for this one, we actually want to leverage our Gideon that we did in one of our other videos in combination with our Hertite. So we'll use Gideon to give Hertite the turn that he needs in order to take the power away from some of the damage dealers that they have on their side and essentially whittle them away and win over time. So should be a good one. Definitely look forward to this fight. The fourth round is against the Fire Paladin, Vigor, and a Hertite of their own. So for this one, we actually want to go ahead and just use our control comp. Again, throw our Varad Dark Homunculus comp into this one. It's turn 1 strip, continue to control and whittle them away one by one with that control. So that's essentially the plan for round 4. And then last round, we have the Chandra, Fire Gojo, Angela defense. For this one, we want to be sure to, and based on the offense I'm bringing here with the Boverk, Amelia, and the Wind Gargoyle. Every time I essentially, just to get some content, every time I see Angela, I always want to bring Boverk into this, just because Angela essentially acts as a battery for Boverk, right? Continuing to give him stacks so that way he can hit people with the half damage. So we'll try to continue to do that, leveraging Angela's buffs, as well as Amelia's buffs as well, to continue to power up Boverk and more than likely target the Fire Gojo first. Go ahead and take him out, and continue to rinse and repeat. All right, so we'll go ahead and start our second tower here. Offensives looks good against these defenses. Let's do it. I'm definitely looking forward to the Gideon fight for sure. Yeah, he's definitely becoming one of my favorite units. Okay, Iris with the turn 1 hit. Get a potential stun on our Camila, but he crits, so we cleanse that. I do want to go for the defense breaker first, so we're going to target the Carcano, get a proc here. We're gonna go for a freeze on the Carcano. All right, we don't get the slow. I'm gonna go ahead and Madness Judgment here. I wanna get him down as fast as possible. We proc here. I'm gonna S1 this. The Carcano is honestly fairly tanky, to be honest, which is pretty interesting. I'm gonna continue to target the Carcano. He does get a stun. Ooh, that's not good. All right, well, they're getting a couple procs here. We get one proc. The hidden aim goes off. Okay. Ooh, this is getting kind of hairy. We proc out of this. Maybe if we get a proc, we can take something out. We'll see. Let's S1 the Carc. We don't get a proc, sadly. We're going to continue to work on the Camilla. We're going to go ahead and heal her up. So next turn, we should be okay. In terms of the next time the Bilal gets revived, we should be fine. We're going to continue to just S1 here. I do want to top off the aerial first because I do want the Carcano to put the defense break on our Camilla first, or Camilla instead of anyone else. I'm going to go ahead and try to land the freeze on the Guilame here. Wow, he actually resists it. I know he has that in his passive, but it's all right. So we're going to go ahead and take out the Iris here. The stuns are kind of annoying. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll S1 the Carcano here, and we'll do our Holy Water just so we can ensure that Camille survives. He's going to target our Bilal. Bilal dies. All right, Guilame is definitely taking a lot of turns. That's okay. Yep, he's proccing. All right, that's all right. Let's go for another freeze on the Guilame. All right, we got that. Got a defense break on our Camilla here. All right, we get a proc. We're gonna go ahead and S1 the Carcano. All right. Bilal goes down, get the crit. We'll go ahead and throw a defense buff on our Camilla. And again, continue to work on our Carcano against the Carcano. All right, gotta be kind of careful with the aerial. He's starting to get targeted. Well, S1 here. Can't quite kill. He should be dying pretty soon. I actually kind of want to try to get the bounce. We're S1 here. We'll throw it. I don't want a chance proccing his back. Okay, see, and then it procs, of course. That's all right. Let's just go ahead and S1 the Carcano. That's fine. We have no choice at this point. All right, and now it should be fairly rinse and repeat against the Guilame here. I know he has his passive that's kind of annoying. It works when it works, and it works, and it doesn't work sometimes. Okay, interesting. So even without the speed lead, Adriana is faster than this Lionel. So we'll go ahead and buff up. In this case, since we have immunity, it doesn't make sense to kill Sierra off first since we are faster. So we'll actually go ahead and target the Lionel and kill him off instead. So Lionel is out of there. We'll Arsenal Sacrifice. All right. And other than that, it's pretty rinse and repeat. We have, well, he was dead anyway, so we didn't even really need to Oblivion him with the Adriana. So we essentially just take him out. So again, really simple team, really easy. We were fortunate enough to be faster than the Lionel there. So for this comp, we want to go ahead and start buffing up our Hertite here. So from my perspective, let's think here. The Manon will target either Hertite or Gideon. The light only Musha will only target Hertite as long as there's no defense break. We want to make sure we keep Hertite alive. And I kind of want to take out the Kinky first, so we'll go ahead and start draining the Kinky. We'll use our Aegis Cry here. Get Gideon targeted. All right, so we get one proc here. We'll, in terms of our S1s here, our off S1, we'll off S1 the Manon. The Manon does have some buffs. We'll see if we can get some steals here. Yeah, we'll just focus on hitting the Manon for now. Manon S1s continues to target our Hertite. All right. It's just so interesting to see the combination of the anti-crit the damage mitigation with the fact that Hertite is able to continue to make himself tankier and tankier as he's able to take attack and defense stats away from enemy units, it's really good. So I think he at this point he should be drained. Oh man, that sounds so weird. He should be -6 or 7 based on the stacks that we were able to get for her type. We're going ahead and try to S1 here just to see how much damage we'll do at current. Wow, they got a block on that. Okay, well that's what she's there for. So we'll go ahead and just continue to work on doing the buffs for her type here. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, so he is +9 here in terms of the amount of drains he has. We'll go ahead and Aegis Cry here. Again, not the most flashy team, but again, this team is very safe. We'll go ahead and try to S1 here. Did about 17,000, 16,000 there. Looks like about a 40 some odd thousand Kinky, which is good. Let's see if we can S1 here. 24,000 from our Gideon, and we take out the Kinky. All right. The Manon goes. She gets a violent proc. She gets a defense break. Doesn't matter. We're going to shake that off. We're going to drain here. All right. We get an additional turn. We're going to... I'm actually just going to S1. I want to keep my 3 stacks here just in case we can get a 5 stacks up here. There we go. See if she gets a turn before us. Okay, she does. So she puts up both of her buffs. And so we want to take both just like that. And then we'll S1 her. All right, Gideon, we'll go ahead and S1 here, see how much damage you do against the Manon. All right, we glance, sadly. Continue to S1 the Manon here. S1. I'll actually go ahead and Aegis up here. We get a proc here. Let's see if we don't glance how much damage we do. All right, we glanced again. All right, Manon with the S2. She violent procs. Again, we're going to just continue to use her type to take the defense buff and the immunity off of her. We'll S1 here. We glance. See if we can not glance. All right, we finally did not glance. And again, just continuing to rinse and repeat this process. Very safe team. So if you have a her type, if you were lucky enough to pull Gideon, they do have the rate up now, so you want to give your sons a try to pull him. As well as if you have Adriana, this team is really strong in my opinion against anything that's trying to sustain out against what you're trying to do. I think this team is just very strong, very safe. You have a lot of damage, a lot of sustain, and again, it works really well. All right, round 4. We can see here the only one on wheel is the her type. We definitely want to try to strip that off if we can. We do. So great, let's see if we can land the freeze here. All right, we can land the freeze. You can see that the Baraz seal was also able to seal off the fire paladin, so keep it from giving it a proc. We land our increased cool times and decreased cool times on ourselves. So win condition for us, just to in case procs ever did happen from my perspective, would be her type, right? So we want to go ahead and focus him. Again, we can see those seal wounds popping off. So based on this comp, again, as I mentioned before, very rinse repeat. This team's just really strong. Is able to continue to CC the opponent, elongate harmful effects, reduce the attack bar. So we'll continue to do so. Starting with our against the her type here. All right, her type is out of there. We'll actually go for a defense break here. We land it, nice. See if we can get some attack bar pushback. We do. Awesome, and we'll continue to extend these harmful effect durations here. Getting a couple procs. Continue to work on her. Continue to extend these harmful effect durations. All right, we don't really need to push the attack bar back quite yet. We'll go ahead and do it here. Again, continue to work on the fire paladin. We take her out. And now essentially, again, just rinse and repeat on the vigor. Let's put a defense break on this guy. All right, we land that. Continue to land our skills. And again, very simple. If you have this team, please, if you have this team, use it. If you don't have this team, please build it. It's super strong. Okay, so they take turn 1, do a couple things. We're gonna go ahead and use our Earth Strike to try to provoke the enemy team. We get the Chandra, we don't get the Fire Gojo. We're gonna go ahead and try to get the Fire Gojo here. We'll try to half his HP. That shield is huge. We'll go ahead and try to take a shield from the Angela, we aren't able to do so. We'll go ahead and transform here and shield up, or defense buff up. All right, so we get hit twice. That means our Earth Strike is able to be used again based on his passive here. So we'll go ahead and use it a second time. All right, we get two provokes here. I do want Angela to, at this point, to try to shield the Chandra, so we'll go ahead and try to freeze up the Chandra. Okay, cool. So now it's time to go ahead and try to halve the the Fire Gojo's HP. We managed to do so, but we were healed, or he was healed by the Angela. We continue to Earth Strike here. All right. She's actually gonna cleanse him. Ooh. Okay, it's fine. Let's continue to try to do this. Maybe this wasn't the most effective team against this. Very annoying to deal with the constant shields, but again, we're gonna continue to try to rinse and repeat. If we have to fast forward through this, we will do so. But okay, it's weird. It's slow. I'm just doing it. Basically, I'm just doing it. I'm going to get the over the path. I'm going to get off. So here's the problem. And I half from over. We'll see. It's one almost. All right. So I'm going to rock. Let's here. See this one again. She gets right ever. Yeah, it's I'm about to drain. She keeps rocking. It's kind of annoying. Let's see if we can crit here. Nice. All right. Last game took a little long, but at the end of the day, the results speak for themselves. 5 wins. So we did manage to pull out a 10-win game, 10-win round when it comes to this. So we're leading a bit in this World Guild battle. We'll see if we can pull it out. But thanks all for watching, and it's Rufio. Peace out.